Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Generations of the Game. We're back this week, y'all. We're back. We're on episode 21. And of course, got my co-pilot on with me, my boy Will. What's up, Will? Say what's up to the people, brother.
What's going on out there, world? JP, what's good, bro? You know what we came to do?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a lot of stuff going on, but in a lot of different sports, man. So we're going to jump into it. And we have two special guests on with us tonight. Actually, it's going to be another special guest on with us later. We got two of them on with us right here tonight.
What's going on, y'all?
All right. And what's going on? And with no further introduction, let's start with our real huge guest we got on with us tonight. We have Olympic gold medalist, 1996 Olympics, Atlanta, 4x4 relay, high school legend as well from Willingboro, New Jersey, Mr. LaMont Smith. How you doing tonight, good brother?
I'm well, man. I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Hey, man, thank you for coming on with us tonight, brother. Thank you. And of course, tonight we back by popular demand. We got our boy JJ on with us tonight, man. How you doing tonight, good brother?
Good evening. Go Sixers. Go Sixers.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna have
Yes, sir.
again, and I'm gonna laugh at certain Knicks fans real soon. I want all the smoke.
I hope so. I saw you last night with them. Talking about you with all the smoke last night. And we're going to get right into it, man, with the NBA playoffs real quick. We're going to start off with what you just talked about, man, the Sixers-Knicks series. As we're going into game 6 tonight. Game was starting about, I could say, about 5 minutes or so. In a minute. Man, what can you say, man? It's a hell of a series so far. So it's been so evenly matched. The Sixers have scored 534 points. The Knicks have scored 532 points. Since we got our special guest first, Mont, since you're new here, brother, speak on what you think about the series and how do you see this going?
I'm disgusted. You want to be honest? I'm really disgusted, man, because we're just not closing out. And it's you know, it's really frustrating that we can't seal the deal and close out these games like this. It's yeah, I just don't understand it, and it's disgusting to me.
Understandable. JJ, we already know what you want to say. Go ahead, brother. Let it loose.
Actually, I'm gonna be optimistic. When you win Game 5, you win 70% of the series. So I'm gonna be optimistic. We're going to party in Game 6. We're going to party in Game 7. Then after Saturday, I'm going to go off on people. I'm going to have fun.
Well, what do you see, brother, for this series? Game 6 or 7.
I mean, it's going to be a good one, man. It seems like it takes a almost career night from a Sixer star, you know, to get the W, man. But we're going to see what Embiid got left in the tank, man, and you know what Maxey's coming to do, man. You know, I'm rooting for the team with the active Kentucky player. So, you know, I'm hoping Philly can do it, but I'm also, you know, impressed by Brunson and the Villanova Knicks.
Yeah, man. They've come to play, man. I know it's the Sixers bench got to step up tonight. The role players got to play better. Man, what can you say about Tyrese Maxey, man? 46 points the other night, 52 minutes. Joel Embiid, he came through at the end, man. He had a couple block shots at the end, hit a big basket, got a 3-point play off it. He came to play. So also Tobias Harris, 19 points to the night. Kelly Oubre, 14. We're going to have another performance from them again tonight for them to get this W because it's win or go home. As simple as that. Win or go home. So looking forward to a great basketball game tonight with the Knicks and the Sixers. And all you got to do is just roll the ball on the court. We'll see what's going to happen tonight. And, well, we have to go to your squad now, man. Your squad took care of business.
Hey, JP.
Oklahoma City.
Before we get to that, before we get to that, we got our other guest.
Okay.
2 more. It's a full
Right.
house.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Tia, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, how are
All
you?
right. How you doing?
Good evening.
Doing good, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely, definitely. We're in the middle of our NBA, NFL. Quick recap before we go into track and field, real quick.
Okay.
So you a Sixers fan?
Go Sixers, go Eagles. I'm everything Philly fan.
All right. That's what I hear. I hear that. So what do you think about the Sixers Knicks series?
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed about our start, but it's not the way you start, it's the way you finish. So we got another game tonight, trying to pull out this win.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go on to the NFL draft real quick. Man, I'm sorry. OKC, we're talking about the OKC Thunder. We'll go into your squad real quick about OKC.
I mean, I've been saying it all season. The youth movement is ready, to make a push in the playoffs. They're doing their thing led by who should be the MVP and SGA. And I also got a shout out at another young team, Minnesota, man. It's time the league starts showing the young faces. LeBron, KD, Steph, we love them. They're great, but their time is coming to an end.
Yeah, man. I want to talk about Anthony Edwards real quick, man. That dunk he had on KD the other night, man. Oh my, yo. I normally don't say this because he's in a class of his own, but that reminds me of some stuff that Jordan would do. It was Jordan-esque, that dunk he put on him. Who wants to take this about Anthony Edwards? Mom, we're going to start with you, man, being a true Carolina fan and every day. What do you think about Anthony Edwards and his future in the game? Oh, you're on mute,
My
Oh,
bad.
man.
Out of future. Cuz, man, I was about to, do my little thing because the game's about to come on. I didn't want y'all to hear my ritual, but it was all good. The future's bright, man. I enjoy watching, watching him play, man. He really gets after it, and he's a pleasure to watch, man. The future's real bright for him.
Right. JJ?
The Olympics is coming. If he does what he's supposed to do, he's going to be worldwide after the Olympics.
Right. Tia, what do you think about yes, sir. Tia, what do you think about Anthony Edwards?
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So, I mean, his game speaks for itself.
Yeah, definitely will.
Special player, man. He got the fundamentals, but he got dynamic athleticism. As you can see, he tried to dunk KD's hair off his head.
Oh, man.
I'll put it to you this way, man. In my opinion, I think it comes down to two. I think it comes down to him and Wembanyama being the future of the game. And yes, I know Joe Lawson. I know you've been telling me stop talking about Wemby, but I had to talk about him for a minute. We're talking about the future faces of the league. And yeah, I'm gonna say Wembanyama is probably going. Him and Anthony Edwards going to be the two faces of the league, definitely. Other series, real quick, we can go down. Boston, of course, beat Miami last night, 4-1. Clippers and Dallas, they're tied up 2-2. 3-2. I'm sorry, 3-2. Dallas. Dallas going to be a dangerous team, man, in the playoffs. Lakers got swept by the they get one. The Lakers get one.
They got one. They got
one. Lakers got beat by Denver. Denver to me is probably going to be the favorite. And I guess that covers the NBA basically. That basically covers the NBA for the night.
Indianapolis clinched.
Let's go on. Who's that? Say what, Mom?
Indy beat the Bucks today, so they clinched.
Indy clinched.
Hey, JP.
Yes.
As Charles Barkley said, he said this about the Pelicans. I'm going to apply this to the Lakers. Go down to that dirty water in Galveston.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Go to Cancun, take the bus and go to Galveston.
The water's not that bad.
Stuff, Mike. They're talking about Texas water. Ain't that? Man, look, man, you crazy.
Water's
But
not that bad in Galveston.
you heard it there first. You heard it from him. He should know. He's down there in Dallas, so he should know. Let's go into the NFL draft real quick. Let's do a quick recap of that real quick. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles first. Of course, we start with the resident Eagle fan here, Mr. LaMont Smith, man. I know can I tell this funny story real quick? You were at the hotel room last week. We were getting ready to leave. He said, y'all come through. We came through, and he went berserk about the Eagles pick they had at cornerback. So what do you think about your draft, Mont, that you had? We already know what you think about your draft. I know you're ecstatic, but speak on it.
I am. I'm very excited. We just addressed our needs, you know what I mean? And we got a lot of cap space. Again, you're if things don't work out, of course, as a fan, you're going to be upset. But we can't be upset with the position and the moves that we're making. You know what I mean? So now it's on the players to do their thing. It's on the coaches to coach them up. But I think we're right there where we need to be to make another push. I'm excited about the draft and then the moves we made in free agency as well.
Yeah, definitely. JJ.
Hey, they got 2 corners in the first 2 rounds. The boy from Iowa is a sleeper, like. And plus, you go to Jackie Robinson line on the inverse, but the boy from Iowa is special, man. Like, Eagles got steal with the first two rounds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And they got Trotterson in the 5th round. Come on, man. Great draft.
Definitely. Tia, how you feel about your Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, every year I think
in the draft.
So, I'm very excited about it. I mean, one thing that I do love about the Eagles is the culture of the team. I feel like we can coach anybody up to be really great. And one thing we always do is kind of spread the wealth within the team. So I have much faith. I do agree the kid from Iowa is bomb. What does he play? Cornerback?
Yep.
He plays
cornerback. And then we got another, like a wide receiver out of like Texas.
At A&M, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know that I just have a lot of faith. I mean, they're going to be rookies, so of course they have to learn the program, but I'm sure that we're going to prepare them for when we need to pull people off the sidelines to bring them in. We always have, tricks up our sleeves, so.
Yeah, definitely. Well, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
A lot of people aren't talking about Isaiah Rodgers. He's the truth too.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, Will, what do you think about the Eagles draft and what they did?
I mean, when you look at last season, the 2 things that they needed to do was just get healthy and to really just add to the secondary. Anything else is a bonus. And I think also, like JJ said, man, from a legacy and culture perspective, bringing Jeremiah Trotter's son onto the team, you couldn't have asked for anything more. I think if they can stay healthy and motivated throughout the full season, they might do what it looked like they were going to do the first 10 or so games last year.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely need to have a strong finish. I was a little disappointed in the finish that we had, but I know we were plagued with some injuries going toward postseason, but we have a lot of, new healthy guys coming in. So I agree with you as far as bringing in the LB from Clemson. He's the truth. So hopefully he can, make a difference for us.
Yeah, definitely. And the last part of this NFL draft, man, my Chicago Bears, man, they hit a home run out the park.
Wait, hold on.
I knew you were going to say.
You know where I'm going with this. That's why John.
Yeah, I know where you're going with it, Bob. I know where you're going.
Not the Chicago Bears. I mean, I know only 2 people who really are fans of Chicago Bears. More power to you. Good luck.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Get on me, Mike. I can't. You're muted. He's muted.
Okay. Hey, I'll say something. JP so damn old. He doing the NFL and AFL. That's why he got the Raiders and Bears, but he's still thinking it's the NFL and AFL.
Hey, JJ, he's still rooting for Gale Sayers, huh?
Man, he was for Gale Sayers, George Blanda, Joe Namath. Oh my God, man!
How do you know about these players? If I'm so old, how do you know about them?
But JP, there's visual evidence of you on the Camden teacher strike in '78. So you want to go there?
I was 5 years old, bro. Don't even try. I was 5 years old, man. You right behind me. Don't even try. Like we ain't the same age range. Stop it,
bro. You was in the teacher strike. That's all I gotta say about that, bro.
Here's what I'm gonna explain what happened. Here's what happened.
No Roger, no rerun, no rent. No Roger, no rerun, no rent. Yeah.
Let me explain what happened. Walter Payton is my favorite football player of all time. So I was a Walter Payton fan. Then after that Marcus Allen was my favorite football player in college as a running back. So that's how I became a Raiders fan, really. So, and I've been sticking with both my teams for 35 plus years since I've been a little kid. So that's how the story goes. But as much as the Bears hit the draft, man, the Raiders, I don't know what they were thinking about taking Brock Bowers at 13. I mean, he's a generational talent, I think. They took a tight end last year. So I don't know what they were thinking about. So yeah, but
they weren't thinking about winning.
You ain't lying. I've been suffering. But I think the Bears are starting to turn this quarter with Caleb Williams. You know, he's from around your way, from Gonzaga down in DC. So we got him at quarterback, and we got what's the receiver from Washington? Yeah, man. I'm ecstatic. I am ecstatic about what we got. So that should be good. Yeah, now y'all.
My bad. I couldn't hear y'all.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say? You were trying to roast me real quick about this Bears Raiders thing. What were you going to say?
Got two teams, man. I don't even know
I know you, man. I know what you're about to do.
I can't even talk football with you, and you got two teams, man. Who does that? Where do they do that? Where do they do that?
I've been going to this for years with this.
They don't make it right.
I'm a loyal fan. I'm a loyal fan of both.
The two teams, yeah.
You have to be loyal to be a Bears fan.
It's even hard for me to talk football with you when you got But I digress.
We go through this every time. Maybe I shouldn't have done the draft tonight. We go through this every time.
You knew that was coming from me.
It's okay. You can jump on the bandwagon.
I've been trying to tell him that for years, Coach. I've been trying to tell him that for years.
I mean, we'll welcome you.
Well, you know what? You know what's crazy? When I was a little kid, I used to be an Eagles fan up until about 1980. After they lost to the Raiders in 81, that's when I abandoned them. I'll be honest with you. That's a confession.
Oh, Lord.
But
the Raiders were hot for about 10 years, I guess.
The Bears haven't won in a long time. Raiders even more.
They fell off. Never come back.
Yeah.
So the Eagles broke your heart. The Eagles broke your heart that bad that you went and got two teams?
Yeah. I told you Walter Payton was my favorite player ever.
The Raiders were only so great. I mean, so loved because they came out with the starter jackets. I remember being in middle school in like the 90s, and they had that really cool starter jacket. So that's when people became Raiders fans and they started watching them. But they're not.
Yeah.
And listening to NWA.
Facts.
And NWA. I was going to say that. And definitely NWA. But yeah, that takes care of our coverage for the night with the basketball, NBA, NFL. Now we are getting into y'all's element now. We are getting into it. Man, ladies first always. So Coach Tia, first off, Coach Tia, tell everybody what high school you teach at. I mean, you coach at, and also there's a famous girls team you help mentor as well.
Yeah, so I'm Tia Clemmons. I go by Coach TC. Back in the day when I first started coaching, I went by Coach Tia. So a lot of the Eleanor Roosevelt girls still call me Coach Tia. But I teach and coach currently at Jackson Reed High School, formerly Woodrow Wilson High School in the District of Columbia, Upper Northwest. So we are the top public high school. Academics wise, athletics, we carry over 40 teams, 13 DCIAA, and then we have a lot of clubs, but our clubs are also like nationally, internationally ranked between like our ultimate frisbee and our crew team. So I've been teaching there now for 8 years, coaching there 9 years. Prior to coming to Jackson Reed, I was at Eleanor Roosevelt from 2005 to 2010. And if you know track, you are very familiar with that. With that team, we had a couple of Championship of Americas from Penn Relays, U.S. number ones back in the day. So I was a head I was head sprint coach at the time, but I was under the lead of Desmond Dunham, who is a current coach at St. John's High School.
Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. Y'all were a powerhouse back in the 2000s. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Congrats to you on that.
Thank
JJ, go ahead. You know what? We got all three of y'all here. Legends. JJ, go ahead. Talk.
Let's see. Willenboro High School grad, 1991. 4 straight state titles. 1999 Penn Relays Championship American Football 4 Willenboro girls. Dubs. Then I was at Hamilton West from 2000, 2010, and 2023. I made a comeback because of administration.
Definitely. And of course, Tia, I'm sure you're familiar with LaMont, right? And his accomplishments, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. We got gold medalists here, 4x4 relay.
Yeah.
Definitely. Hey, Mont, let's talk about your son Jace, man. He ran a hell of a leg, that third leg. Let's start off with him first with TCU the other day, last Friday, brother.
Man, he's coming around. So he started off, his indoor season was pretty good. He ran 669, no, 699, no, 669, something like that. 669, I believe. Early in the year, and he was on track. He got hurt. So we just kind of decided to pull him from the rest of the indoor season because the risk just didn't outweigh the reward. And so he kind of started training a little later on in the season. So he kind of had his little lumps in March and some in April, but he's kind of starting to find his rhythm a little bit now. And, he ran a pretty good relay carry, and then his 100 was pretty good as well. So he's coming around, and we got a conference coming up in a couple weeks. So he should do pretty well.
Yes, sir, man. Him on that third leg, man, he always burns up the third leg, man, on the relay, man. He always burns it up, brother.
Which is new for me because he normally leads off, but, you do what you need to do.
Right. And it's just
at whatever point. I try to teach him at a young age that you have to be able to run every leg, not just first leg, not second, third. So he's learned that early on that he has to be able to be serviceable on any leg that they put him on.
Right, man. And, it's good seeing the progression over the years, man. I remember when he was in youngster in high school, and then became state champion in Texas, and glad to see him still doing his thing, man, at the highest level.
Well, it's definitely been a journey, and he's been hurt most of his collegiate career. So we'll see what happens. I mean, however it shakes out, man. I'm extremely proud of what he's done and what he's accomplished, and and I just hope that he gets everything he wants out the sport at the end of the day.
Yeah, bro, let me tell you something, man. He's at a level where a lot of kids don't even reach, brother. So he's already successful with what he did. Of course, he's one hell of a sprinter. You know that, man. Definitely. JJ, you were there to see him live, man, running that third leg. What did you think?
And third leg football 1 and open 100. Loved it, man. Just loved seeing him perform, man. Last year it rained, so it sucked last year. So to see him running some sunshine, man, I was proud of him, happy for him.
Yeah, man. TCU year in and year out, man. Always got some strong sprinters, man. Always, definitely one of the best sprint programs in the history of track and field. We wish those young men and women the best. You know, with the conference meet and the NCAAs coming up, man. We definitely wish them the best. Will, do you have anything you want?
Big 12 this weekend, right, Mont?
No, next weekend. We're off this
Okay.
weekend. We're off this weekend, and then next weekend is championship season for pretty much everybody has their conference next weekend.
Cool.
Will, did you have anything? Did you want to add anything to this?
The only thing I wanted to say is shout out to our three guests. You know, the sports aspect is definitely major, but the mentorship of the young men and women, you know, that's the biggest thing. So appreciate your impact.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's the most rewarding part of coaching, still being a part of their lives and seeing them win in life. So that's big for me.
What's going on?
Oh,
What's going on?
Hey,
yo.
What up, nephew? What up, man?
What's up, young legend?
I saw him out there.
You saw, yeah. What's going on, man?
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you. What'd you say? My bad.
I was just saying, I
said,
saw
what's
you
going
out there in pins.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Roddy.
Hey, what's up?
So
We got to get you on. We got to get you on here next. You know that.
This
For
is
sure.
this is Coach TC.
Okay.
No.
I'm out of DC, but I'm from Philly. I went to Overbrook with John, and I'm friends with Greg, so I know you who you are very well.
Yeah. So it's everybody.
Well, it's good seeing y'all. Y'all take care of my old man on here.
Oh man,
Y'all for sure
yeah,
got
we got it. Definitely.
Good luck with the rest of your season, honey.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're gonna have you on, Jace. Definitely got to have you on.
Yes, sir. Just let me know.
All right, sounds good, man. Sounds good.
JP, real quick. It looked like Rod is trying to join, so I'm gonna try to bring him up.
Yeah, bring Rod up. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's the connection with Philly. Why I love Philadelphia teams, y'all. I went to Overbrook High School.
Oh, okay.
Philly, born and
You went to the Brook, the legendary Overbrook.
Legendary
Was
Overbrook.
that the Wilt Chamberlain School?
Will Chamberlain,
Yes, sir.
Drummond, Dworsky, Odom,
Will Smith.
Will Smith, Tia Clemmons.
Right, the Coach TC school.
That's right. That's right. Shout yourself out. Is that Coach Rod? What's up, Coach Rod? Is that Coach Rod?
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be him, but it might be some technical difficulties.
Okay. All right.
I know who it is.
Nah, it's Coach Rod. He's on with us. Okay, he had to come back. But yeah, Tia, let's talk about your team, Jackson Reed. You had a great Penn Relays, boys and girls.
Yeah, we did. Thank you for asking. So we generally come to this meet. Of course, we always want to put our best foot forward. This is the second year in a row that we came back with a penny with the boys team, for 4x4. This year we bettered our time by 4 seconds. So this is great because we have a young team. And we actually had to put an alternate on there because our main sprinter, he pulled up in the 4x1. So it was good to see them come out and run well. And then our girls, we set a school record, which was nice. They actually left with hardware, not just from the 4x4, but the 4x1, because in their section, which was section 2, they placed third overall. And they won their heat, but then they placed third overall. So they ended up getting medals for that. So I was very pleased with their performances. And, it's just kind of the sky's the limit. When you're coaching now, or when I'm coaching now, particularly coming from a school like Eleanor Roosevelt, we definitely need to, celebrate, even if they're small successes. So very proud of them.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Definitely, congratulations to you. Definitely. Yeah. And I definitely will keep an eye on y'all definitely next year as well. We can come back to the Panthers stuff and looking forward to y'all performing. Definitely.
Yes, thank you so much. I have a young team, and I'm very excited about our underclassmen. One of my guys was a sophomore, went 48 for us, so not 44, but you know, 48 is progressive. So
Hey,
I'm excited about that, and I mean, he's excited too. So as long as we can keep them healthy, they'll see progress every year.
Yes, sir. Ma, you going to say something?
no, I love to hear that when she said she had a sophomore that ran 48, because I had a sophomore who just ran 48.5 this year as well. And actually most of my sophomores either ran 49 or 48 this year. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting them together this summer. So,
Yes.
I mean, that's normally, he's really where he needs to be as a sophomore. I mean, 48 is running as a sophomore. So he's definitely on the right track to do some things before he graduates high school.
Yes, thank you, and congratulations to you as well, because how it is keeping them healthy from the beginning of the year, August, all the way through, trying to peak in April, May.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to scale them back. When I was at Eleanor Roosevelt, I realized in August that the girls were just rolling. But, they had already been in our program for a couple of years. And so we knew that, they were ready to come back and make some noise. But, you could see early where you're, okay, let's scale back just a little bit. I mean, that team ended up winning Penn Relays Championship of America, 337.
And it's definitely a lot different. I think, growing up on the East Coast and running and then being in Texas for so long, it's a lot different. And I would almost, I would bet my house that it's probably a little tougher running and having kids ready up north versus here, because you have a full indoor season and then you have outdoor season, versus here, if they're not playing football, normally we may start in October or November, and then we only have two, maybe three at the most indoor meets, unless we decide to go to New Balance.
Okay.
And then our high school season starts in February, and actually,
Yeah, that's crazy.
actually we're having our state meet this weekend.
Oh, wow. So y'all finished. So, yeah.
Our high school is finished after this weekend in Texas.
Wow. So that's a long time from now until nationals, which is mid-June too.
Correct. That's why we get our butts kicked a lot of times when we come up to New Balance, because we would have already had our state meet. So, so it's kind of tough, because, now I have to balance on how do I kind of get them right by August for JO.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little tough, but it is what it is. You do what you do.
Now, I feel like if we are training at a very high level and we're also competing on a high level, that summer training isn't necessary for everybody. But there are some kids who, have already have loyalty to maybe their club track from before. And I'm like, you just need to maintain over the summer. You don't need to go 6 days a week. And, I just want them to also stay healthy, because they come back in August and we need to start fall training.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that.
Definitely. And we're gonna go on, man. We gotta talk about it, because he's been the talk of not only the track world, social media, and everything. And that's young Quincy Wilson. All I can say is that prelim race he ran on Saturday, I'm still stunned by that 44:37 relay leg that he ran, and how far out he was, and still had more room to go when Bullets won their heat in the morning. Man, I gotta ask the experts about this first. Let's start, of course. Let's start with you, Mont, first on this one, man. What did you think about that relay leg in the morning that Quincy Wilson ran for the Bullet School?
I mean, probably there's been a lot of great relay carries in the history of Penn Relays. That's probably one of the best that I've seen. It is just, he's just a generational talent. He's very, very, very good. The thing that I would say though, and I mentioned this last week when I was on another show, is I wish sometimes we as fans, coaches, parents, etc., we would just enjoy what he's doing, and just be fans of what he's doing, and not put so much pressure on him as far as him being the next great thing and pushing the Olympics. Like, yes, we definitely man, I would love to see, and I know at some point he is going to be in the Olympics and he will probably go on to be an Olympic champion. But, and it's the same thing when you talk about Obi, right? If Quincy runs 44.9, that's close to a PR for him, right? And he'll probably have to do that every round. And that's really, really tough on a kid. You know what I mean? And again, man, I am a huge fan of this kid. I mean, because he is just phenomenal. But I just sometimes wish that we as coaches, fans, former athletes, we will enjoy what he's doing in the now. You know what I mean? And let's just see where this thing takes him, which I think is going to take him very, very far off of what he's doing, man. But for me, as a coach, as an athlete, as a fan, like, I'm just enjoying what this kid is doing in the now, because he's just phenomenal. That's just my take on it, though.
Yeah. And hey, brother, you can mention the show, man. I listened to that podcast too. Coach Richardson, Coach Ruck, man. They got something, man. Hey, man, I told you, brother. I don't think I could interview no more after I heard them with that podcast, bro. I told you that. It was such a great interview they had with you, man. And it was a real good. Real good. JJ, what did you think about the performance on the prelim? We're gonna talk about the prelims first. What did you think about it?
Man, that 44-3 was phenomenal, man. That 44-3 was something. For high school kids. But looking at overall, let's pray for his groin muscles, let's pray for his hamstrings, let's pray for his quads, because man, if he stays strong, man. Man, special kid.
Definitely. Coach Tia, what did you were there, you saw it live. What was your emotions like just seeing this, like, wow.
So first of all, I'm just happy to have witnessed it, right? And I agree with like Lamont, where let's just enjoy like the present. Tomorrow is tomorrow, Olympic trials is Olympic trials, but let's enjoy just like the moment. So I've been watching him. Remember last year, he also split 45, which was amazing last year as a freshman. So for him to split 44-3, I'm not surprised. I actually saw him run the 151 at in Myrtle Beach.
All right, yeah.
We were all there. So I've been watching him since, for a while now. And I think the part that I love the most is if you actually get to know him, you'll realize he's just like an average kid, where he enjoys playing video games and he's, very personable, but very respectful. And you just want great things for somebody who is like that. And Jolie has done a great job with, just keeping him humble and keeping him honest. And it's good to see that he's kind of running up and running down, and indoor seasons, not just primarily doing the 4. So I think that the 44 was, it was bound to happen because of, how his training has been going and also the other events that he's been competing in. But to watch it, I was just like inside just doing cartwheels, but of course cheering. So I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, definitely. Will, you have anything?
I mean, I don't know much about track, what's a good time and all of that, but I know when JP sent me the video of that kid, man, I was like, holy, like he's gifted, man. If for no other reason right now, I will be watching when he's running. JP got me trying to come to Penn Relays now. So that kid's phenomenal.
It was a Penn, that was one to watch. I'll tell you that 2024 Penn Relays was everything we needed it to be.
Yeah, yeah. I like and you know what you mentioned about him being a good kid. I've seen several interviews with him. He just seems to be like a real good kid. I heard he's a straight A student as well. So that's even more important. They say he's a better person than he is on the track. So
Yeah.
and another too, he's not very tall. He's only like what 5'8", 5'9". So he's
Not a
got a
big-
little bit of thing to
He
do.
reminds me a lot of Derek Mills.
Ooh,
He reminds
ooh,
me a lot of Derek Mills.
your teammate. Ooh, yeah,
He does.
yeah.
He reminds me a lot of Derek.
So he signed the other day with the oh man, somebody helped me out here with an agency the other day that I heard that deals with, I guess, NIL deals and stuff like that. Well, I'm gonna ask you all individually because you were a phenom at one time. You know what I mean? Gold medalist. Tia, you've coached some great ones. JJ, you coached some great ones. Let's start with you, Tia, first. How would you handle a young man like this? And as far as like the people, people going to start coming at him and stuff. And protecting him and stuff. He seems like he comes from a good family. Of course, Coach Joe Lee does a very good job. Is a very good coach. But how would you handle dealing with a talent like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just different times than we were in too. I'm a parent before I'm anything else. So of course, protection and like being a protector is something that would be like my first thought about it, not being taken advantage of. Just making sure that at the end, he's the one who's still enjoying this ride and he's doing all of these things for him. But then also just being a boy of color who is at this level. For some, and I also graduated from Howard. So it's all about like just creating that path for the ones that's going to come behind them. But as a coach and as a parent, I would definitely want to just make sure that he remains humble and understand that, all of this is really great, but it can be taken away, tomorrow. So to just really be humble about it and enjoy this while we have it, but still understand that I want him to just have fun. Like, I think when you take the fun out of track and you start doing it for all these other reasons, then, that's when, they start to kind of like run backwards.
Very good points. How would you deal with this? Of course, you went through this with, I imagine, with Jason stuff, with him being a star sprinter at one time. So and plus with you being a star as well. How would you handle it? And this could be a two-part question for you. How would you handle this with Jace and Kobe, and also with yourself, younger self? If you had NIL deals and stuff, how would your parents and coaches and everybody, your community, handle it as well? That's a two-part question for you, brother.
I think like Tia said, the first thing is being a parent. Like, you want to make sure that they're protected. And I always say that like nobody outside of your circle really matters. You know what I'm saying? So his team, meaning his coach, his parents, they all have to be on the same page. You know what I mean? They have to move as one, as a unit. You know what I mean? And nobody outside of that circle doesn't really matter. And then the second thing is, he has to have fun with this, man, because I can only imagine, with the social media stuff now and a lot of things that I did not have when I was running. Thank God I didn't, I'm sure. But, it's a lot of pressures that come with that. You know what I mean? And when those pressures come, sometimes it takes the fun out of it. And if it's not fun, then why are we doing it? You know what I mean? So, but first and foremost, Quincy has to know his whys. Why is he doing this? You know what I mean? Because, for him, he just may just love to just really run. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all the other stuff doesn't really matter. Like for me, none of the other stuff really mattered. I just wanted to run. I just wanted to be the best version of me I could be. You know what I mean? And I wanted to win. by working hard, and all the other stuff didn't really matter to me. Even John can tell you, even when that time came and the business side of track, it started being a business for me. I still tried to have as much fun as I could, because at some point it's not very comfortable. When business comes into it and everything, sometimes it's not fun because it's not comfortable. So, and I kind of know I've gone around the block, but the main thing is that he and his team are on the same page and that he continues to have fun. And that's what I would do with my kids.
Definitely. Hey, brother. Now you didn't go around the block. You're educating us, man, for real. You know what I mean? This is like getting advice from like a superstar NBA player that knows what's going with another NBA player. So you giving us, some great insight here. Definitely. JJ, how would you handle the situation? I mean, of course, you coach some great runners too. How would you handle the situation with Quincy if you were his coach?
Well, I want to go back to L. Smith real quick, because folks that don't know, that's my best friend. So if L. Smith would have had an NIL deal in 1991, I would have got close too. I just want to put that out there. Wow, I stole your stuff. So I just want to put that out there real quick.
Crazy.
But it's true. I've been getting geared too. But just make sure young kids just don't get exploited, man. Because and me and Reverend Dr. Woods, we had a long talk about this Saturday. Like, we had two talks. We talked about it when I was at the supermarket, and I got home. We talked about it again. Got to make sure these young folks don't get exploited. Number one, and two, with name, image, and likeness, you can get paid in college. So why go pro? You can get your college education, you can stack your bank account up, and you can, ride out as long as possible before you go pro. So it's at the point, why go pro if you can get paid, in high school and college?
But let's take the money out of it, though, right? Let's take the money out of it. If nothing else, you go to college for the experience, because it teaches you to grow. It teaches you life lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we've all have experienced that in college. So, let's take the money portion out. If nothing else, you go to college because college also teaches you a lot about yourself. You know what I mean? It teaches you a lot about yourself, because guess what? Mom is not making those meals for you. They're not telling you to get up to go to class. It's not, you have to create your own structure in college.
Absolutely.
So I think for more than anything else, if you take the whole money piece out, it's a life learning experience that I think every kid needs to go through.
And just look at your network once you graduate college. Like, look at your network now and everybody who you're still friends with. As a matter of fact, you have a few friends you all have children who run on your team now, or for TCU, right? So if you didn't go to college and you took the deal in high school, you would never have that experience. And I wouldn't trade my experience for anything. I'm still very close. My kids, all their aunties and uncles are people I went to college with.
Right.
And I can go anywhere in the world and meet somebody who graduated from Howard, And so I agree that, removing the money and thinking about like what college does for any young person. I think that's one of those experiences where it's priceless.
And I think most important, and I think I left out, I think sometimes too, and like John said, you hope that he's not being exploited, because at the end of the day, he's a kid. Like you said, he likes to play video games. He likes to do things that kids do. And I think sometimes when you see that type of talent, we forget that he's just a kid. You know what I'm saying? That he's just a kid that likes to do normal things that kids do. He just happens to be a very talented kid. So I think too, we also have to keep that in mind as well, as that, he's just a kid.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, experience is
great. Oh, go ahead, Tia.
No, I was just saying, I think getting the experience of maybe making an Olympic team and going to see what it's like is one thing. Because I remember Sydney did the same thing. She was like just removed from high school and she performed, and her birthday or something was like around the time that she was about to leave. And she really was like more like on the teenager side where she really wants to like have this great experience, but remain a kid. And I think as a parent, you want to just make sure that balance is even as possible. And so when you start taking away fun things or, normal kid stuff, then you start dealing with some of the other issues that we see a lot of child stars deal with. And some of them can't handle it, particularly if they don't have, the good support system. And support, I'm not talking about loving parents who are there, coaches, but the other people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Very, very good points. Will, with you being in the basketball world. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I even think about this, right? So, things to think about. So let's say that he goes on and makes the team this year, right? He's 16. Is he going to stay with his parents? Is he going to stay in Olympic Village? Like, you know what I mean? Like those are things that you have to really think about. You know what I mean? Because he's a kid, right? So, does he stay in the village? Does he stay with his parents? Like, and I would hope there's something set up, because when you make the team, you want to experience everything. You want to experience competing. You want to experience being in the village. You want to experience being with your team. And, I hope that they're thinking about that, because, there's a strong possibility that he can go on and make the team. But these are just little things that you have to think about.
Man, very, very good points. And for the record too, he already said he's back at Bullets next year. So he did say that earlier this week. He's definitely back there at Bullets again. And yeah. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I hope they come to Texas Relays at some point, and I hope you bring your team to Texas Relays at some point. It's nothing like it. I know Pens is Pens, but Texas Relays is Texas Relays.
Yeah, we never made it to Texas. I mean, I was Carroll High School. I'm good friends with their coaches, and I know they go down there. And shout out to Carroll, because their girls team went 45-1. And so, and their boys were in the Championship of America, first American team with a 40.6. So, I've always done Florida relays, but I haven't done Texas. But I would love to experience it. So, I mean, my boys,
you have to do
Texas heat is different, and I'm not talking about the weather.
You have to do it at least once, and hopefully it's not. It won't be like it was this year, where a lot of the high school kids didn't come because the district meet was that following weekend. So hopefully they get that.
Okay. All right, good to know.
Definitely. Will, with you dealing with the basketball world and stuff, you've been around a lot, and a lot of phenoms, that we've seen, DJ Wagner to the Boozer brothers to, man, I'm going back to even LeBron James and people like that. If you're a parent, you're a parent of two girls. If your girls try to be like, phenoms in sports, basketball, whatever, track, whatever, soccer, whatever they want to play, how would you deal with the situation with them?
I mean, the first thing I think I would just want them to do it because they enjoy doing it. Like we as the family will be straight. We're just there to support them and make sure that the village is truly a village and nobody is looking at it, as they're come up. I've seen it in a variety of ways. And just make sure they enjoy themselves. If they're young, enjoy it. There's gonna be plenty of races, basketball games, soccer matches, whatever. You only get one or two opportunities to go to prom, things of that nature. So you want to look at your lifelong, memories. Not that sports is not lifelong memories, but the things that you may look back on and wish you did it. Just enjoy yourself. If you're great, the opportunities will be there, and the money will be there, so enjoy it, do it because you want to do it, and it won't be certain pressures and negative things that, end up ruining it for you.
Yeah, man. Y'all dropping some jewels here, man. Seriously, everybody, man. I mean, I can't say enough, man. I mean, you're getting it from people who have coached, ran at the highest level, and they're telling you, what it takes and everything. Let let's go around real quick. Let's start with you, Tia. How is it coaching the young people with stuff? Like what is the highs and the lows, I would say, of coaching a track team?
That's a loaded question. No, I'm kidding. Well, the highs, of course, are when you see them, successful after all the work that that they've put in. And, I've coached on a couple of different levels, at the highest level where we were US #1, and then at the local level where we're like the top, public high school. And so I think that the blood, sweat, and tears, like I now in my older age, like I have to fight back the tears from just watching the accomplishments of some of my student athletes, because you just where they started and then where they are. And so the highs are when you see them being successful, even if it's just a small progression. The lows, I would say, is because we're in an era of like technology and social media. The comparison is like, oh my goodness, a kryptonite. And I think also nowadays, students are also protected a lot more by their parents. Like their parents are more involved, but in a different way, not the supportive, like just allow the coaches to do what they want to do, but almost like, sometimes it might be too much. The kid has to do this, that, and everything else, but come to practice or, be consistent. And we know when you want someone to be, to produce at a high level, what it takes. And so some of the lows are the interference. And then as a high school coach, we have interference not only from parents, but then also club coaches who don't know how to just leave us alone during the school year and then allow, the kids to just do what they need to do over the summer. So that's kind of my short end of highs and lows. Overall, I've been doing this about 20 plus years at this point, and I keep doing it every year. So of course the highs outweigh the lows, and even being a parent coach is just something that is just very rewarding to just see how it unfolds. And I'm still very close to a lot of my student athletes from, Eleanor Roosevelt, and I stopped coaching there in 2010. It's 2024. I've been at graduations, baby showers, weddings, so on, etc. So at Penn's, I had a couple of kids there. And so, that part is really nice to just still be a part.
Yeah, that's good. Definitely. With you being Olympic gold medalist and everything, what made you want to get into coaching young people and mentoring and working with young people, brother?
I didn't. I really didn't, and I never thought that I would enjoy doing it so much. Because when I stopped running for a while, like I didn't do anything with track. You know what I mean? Like once I kind of retired, and I just didn't do anything. But I would watch it every now and then. I wasn't going to meets, but it really wasn't until my son ran that I started going to meets again. I started working with him. We did a few. I put him with track clubs and stuff, and I was dad and everything. But the thing is, sometimes if you know me, you know that like I just want to be dad.
Yeah.
I'm very good at being my and playing my role as being dad. I'm not one of those dads that I'm out at the track watching what he does all the time. I'm not talking to the coaches because I feel like if my son is with you, then he's with you. Right. I'm not one of those dads that if he goes and works out with his high school coach, oh, now you have to come work out with me. I'm very good at staying in my lane and allowing the coach to do their thing. The flip side is that sometimes when you're asked for help and kids kind of start listening to you, then it's kind of like, well, everybody's just listening to him because he's in the Olympics. No, that's not it. I've happened to learn from one of the best coaches around. Right. And you asked me to help. So finally, I said, you know what, maybe it's time for me to kind of do my own thing. So I always say that we went from having no home to creating our own home. And, so I've been doing the club thing for maybe 6 or 7 years, and I absolutely love doing it. you know, like T said, it's really good when you see them achieve their goals and whatever that looks like. So if I have a kid that's run 60 point, and then by the end of the summer he runs 58, I'm jumping around like he's run 50 point, right? So for me, winning is cool, but when I see these kids PR, that's what it's about for me. It's just seeing them get better each race. And to your point, I can never understand how come club coaches and high school coaches can't work together, because at the end of the day, it's really about the kids. So I don't
Oh my God.
so I can never understand that. And sometimes my kids get mad at me because I tell them, okay, once you're done with me and you're with your high school coach, I'll see you in May. You know, I'll see you. I'll see you in May when your season is over. Now I am lucky because most of the kids that, you know, a lot of the kids go to one school, right? And I work with the coach a lot because he was actually my kid's high school coach. So we're basically on the same page. And the ones that don't go to other schools that I don't know the coaches that well, don't have a relationship with, I just go, okay, you're with them for now. You know what I mean?
That's the key. That's the key, is the relationship, because the club coaches who do respect you as a coach, like for high school, they will communicate. Like I have a few that are, and I was a club coach at one point, so I understand it, which is why when I got to the high school level, I'm like, you know, you should be hands off unless there's like an injury that I need to know about or something else like personal, you know, to help this kid, you know, but it's all about the relationship building.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not about you, the high school coach, me, the club coach. It's about the kids. So so for the life of me, when I hear it, and Lord knows it happens here in Texas a lot, like I just don't understand. Like, that's not my story. Again, I just kind of stay in my lane. But I think I would say the lowest point is when you see how hard these kids work and they don't achieve what it is that they wanted to achieve. You know, you're always self-reflecting, like, okay, as a coach, you know, what could I have done better to help this kid get there? And you just try to figure it out together. But I think for me, that's the hardest thing, is just when they don't achieve the goal that they wanted, you know, that they want. I don't understand too, though, sometimes they just think that like it's the end of the world when they don't. You know what I mean? Like it's like the world is ending. No, we just continue to work and we get better, you know, whatever that looks like. But other than that, you know, I look at Coach Ruck and I look at Coach T, and the thing I like most is that when they go off to college, you know, they still keep in contact with me, and we have relationships outside of track, which is very important. And the one thing that I will hang my hat on, and that I'm very proud of, first, you know, I could care less about the national titles or the state championships, because that's important. But every kid that's come through my program, they've gone on to college. And
That's
every
wonderful.
kid that's gone to college, they've graduated college. So for me, that's the most important thing, is that, you know, every kid that's come through that's wanted to run on the next level, they've all gone to college, and each one of them that have gone to college, they've graduated. So that's the most important thing for me, and that's the thing that I really am most proud of, and that I hang my hat on.
You should, brother. You definitely should.
That's big.
Definitely. JJ,
How can I
how
follow
how
that?
did you
How can I
how you
follow
feel
that?
about Coach?
Jeez.
Huh?
Man, that was some loaded responses by these two coaches. How can I follow them? Oh man! But all right,
I know.
but you know, me and my school. I mean, I'm big on, you know, I'm big on the student athlete thing. I'm big on academics, and in 2024,
T comes
the
before the T.
right, and 2024, the academics part it lacks in my school. It lacks. So that's the big thing I'm working on at my school right now, because a lot of athletes, when 12th grade hits, and because they don't have the foundation, you know, they gotta go to JUCO, which nothing wrong with JUCO, but I went, but the the academic part is lacking. I mean, it's really, really lacking right now. And also at home, parents are not there.
Yeah.
So, like my
Yes,
school right now, that's the two big things with academics and pretty much the parents are absent. Absentee parentism. They're not there.
man,
Hey,
man.
so
Shame. Go ahead, man.
if you would indulge me in a question, I have a question, and I want to know you guys' input. I never get to ask questions on these shows. I want to ask a question.
Go ahead. Shoot. Go ahead.
What do you guys think about the transfer portal and
Oh
how
my.
how it affects high school kids?
Oh my.
Woo. Woo.
My.
Who wants to take that question first?
Yeah, I would love to know what you guys think about that.
Go
Who wants to
ahead.
take?
I mean, I guess I'll share I don't know all of the, intricacies of it, but I do know that as far as high school students are concerned now, I mean, you have high school kids who are transferring left and right as well. So, I mean, getting to college and being able to do it is just like a part of what they have been doing anyway. People are able to create powerhouses because you're able to transfer so easily and not lose eligibility and then also gain. So, as a high school coach who's a public school coach, I don't get to reap the benefits that some private schools do because they can bring them in from wherever, and
Right.
I have to just develop whoever's in my building. So asking somebody who's like a public school person, I feel like, I mean, it's sickening just because it's like, we can't do some of the things that other, schools are able to do. But at the same time, I also just know that I just have to believe more in my capability of being able to develop student athletes to get to a certain point. But I do feel like kids in their minds now, because, it kind of adds to the microwavable society, everything they want, quick, immediate, whatever. So they think if they are not performing well here, they can just go somewhere else and it'll change. Well, really, they just need to like look in the mirror. It may not be everybody else. It could be something like within them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 2 cents on it.
And so that's a good spin. And so I guess too, that's definitely a good spin. Oh, by the way, the Sixers are down by 3 now. So I guess, I mean, I guess as far like scholarships, right? Because let's say when I was in school or you was in school, 10-5, 21-4, 47-5 would get you a scholarship, a decent scholarship. Now, some of these kids may run 10-3, 10-4, 21-3 or 4, and now they're having to go to JUCO because those times aren't flying, because they can, a college coach can get a kid that's running 10-1, 10 flat out of the portal. So, so for me, I think it kind of hurts the high school kids at some point, because now, those times that used to get you a scholarship, not doing that because they're saying, why do I take a chance on a high school kid when I can go in the portal? So that kind of causes some kids that kind of have to go junior college that meets the cleared the clearinghouse to go to college at D1 and stuff, but they're having to go to JUCO because they're not getting the offers that they want. So I just kind of wanted to get you guys' take on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel like, and I'm sorry to talk again, but for kids who may go into a program and they really just didn't check off all of their boxes, or what could be positive to it is like, okay, they get there, they realize this is not the place for them, and then it is an easy transition to somewhere else without them losing, right?
Correct.
But that's not the most people's experience.
Yeah.
At least in my experience, it's not most of their experience. But there are kids who go to schools and just genuinely, this is not the right fit. I thought this was going to be one thing and it's not. And they literally just need to go somewhere else. So in that case, it's great. But I just feel like with them being able to like transfer and go so many different places, there's no stability. It's like, how can you build these, relationships that, we were able to build when we stayed at a place for 4 years and had to stick it out. And then, I think about kids who may get injured. And it's like, okay, they're stuck in a place because they can't transfer.
Yeah.
And then they're stuck because they're in a place that they only went to for the athletic part, and it's not something that they really wanted to fall back on as far as a degree.
Got you.
Definitely. JJ?
Yeah, JJ.
Man, transfer portal. You guys covered everything. I mean, wowzers. You guys covered everything.
I mean, do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it hurts the high school kids? Like, I mean, hell, my son transferred. I like it in the sense that, they can transfer without having to sit out, because hell, coaches, they leave their jobs and can go get new jobs and don't have to sit out and get paid to die. So I like the transfer. I like the transfer portal in that sense. But I also think that also hurts the high school kids too, though. That back in the day could have got scholarships, but now they're kind of like, I can go get this kid that's a freshman that ran 10-1. Why am I wasting my time on a high school kid?
Yeah.
And
also takes
another thing. Oh no, go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying it kind of takes the development factor away. When you bring someone in who, has potential, the potential kid, strong coming out of high school, maybe underdeveloped, just need the right program in order to get better. Like you said, they're not going to waste their time, for some. And then when you really look at the coaches, because the transfer portal is the way that it is, then they're under fire. They have to produce. Certain schools, if you don't produce, you out the door. They don't give you 5 years anymore. It might be 3 years, depending on the school. If they're paying you big bucks, they expect for you to produce. So I know that that's a stressor as a college coach. And so being able to bring kids in who are already like scorers is just something that their school wants to see, because they're going after titles.
Yeah. And I don't know if that works. I like to develop kids, though.
That's very different, man.
What was stuck with the transfer portal is,
go ahead, Jay.
What was stink and what was suck is if I was developing a kid and the kid was good and he transferred and left, I would be hurt. Honestly, I would be hurt. I'm like, wow. Like, that would suck.
Yeah, I guess it's a catch, because I for me personally, I really like to develop kids. You give me a kid that runs 55, let me get him to be. Those are the kind of kids I want. I just really like to develop kids.
Yeah, that's you know what? That's a good thing to develop kids and stuff, because you can see them blossom and stuff, and what they do. And I give you a case in point. Like a good friend of mine, his my boy Jeff, his brother is one of the most famous, stories in high school basketball history. As far as I'm talking about Benji Wilson, and we're gonna have Jeff on in the near future, definitely, to talk about his brother Benji. But it's like his brother was like 5'11" his freshman year in high school, and sat the bench. And then he grew to be 6'9" and wound up being the #1 high school player in the country. We know, the story about what happened with him, though. But like you said about development, his high school coach always told him he envisioned him being like a Magic Johnson type guard and stuff like that there. So, we talk about developing and seeing kids blossom. I mean, not necessarily be on that type of level, but just to see them blossom and to get a scholarship and be successful in life. I can imagine that brings a lot of joy to you, Mont.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Will, you have anything to add?
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for answering my question.
Oh yeah, I got an answer for you too, Mont.
Yeah. I definitely want to hear it. So
I think that it definitely hurts high school kids because you're right. You know, they're always going to look at the proven commodity, you know, now, especially where coaches are getting fired in year one of their contract. You know, they feel like they don't have the time or patience to develop anymore, which is sad, you know. And then the players, you know, I don't blame them for getting something for their talents, but a lot of them are transferring, you know, for a bag, or because maybe they don't like a coach that's actually trying to push them. So there's that aspect of it. And on the college side, it's good, you know, if you're not in the right situation, like Coach TC said, but it's negatives to it too. Nobody talks about the fact that now there's kids that your credits are all jacked up because you transferred 3 or 4 times, you know, and there's no graduation date in sight, you know, but you know, you got to wear, you know, you got 3 different commitment photo shoots. So that's cool, you know, but I think it's an interesting situation. And overall, I think down the road, as more information comes out, it's going to be very interesting. And then something we can talk about later, JP, but I found out that the transfer portal actually, them putting a hard date for entry on it for basketball players, it kind of messed up some of the players because with the way NIL deals work now, you have to finish a semester out and to get your like final payment. So you had some people literally wait until the last day to enter so they could get their last payout from the current boosters of the current school before they move on to the new spot, which is crazy.
Wow, that is, man, I didn't know that. That is crazy. Yeah, we had to talk about that. Definitely. We're gonna move on to our last segment here with this. This has been man, Will, man, it's been one hell of a show, hasn't it, man?
Absolutely, man. Nothing but legends here.
Yeah. But let's talk about this is the last segment right here. Let's talk about track and field. Where is it headed? Where's it headed to? Because there's been 2 major deals that just took place in track and field. Michael Johnson starting the track and field league, and also Gabby Thomas, with the help of Serena Williams' husband, he's invested into a women's track event in September. Is this good for the sport, you guys think? And where is track and field headed? What needs to be? How can I say this? What needs to be in the what could be in the forefront of track and field, you know, with the American public's eye and stuff? I don't think it'll ever be as big as basketball, football, or baseball, but what can it do to enhance the sport and, you know, making more kids to choose track over, let's say, like a football or something like that? Who wants to take? Anybody can take that question.
Make it affordable. Make the meets affordable. Because Penn Relays used to be a family. Penn Relays used to be a family affair. Now you can't take the family to Penn Relays anymore.
Bruh,
Well,
$75.
Go
ahead, man.
I think track is. I mean, when you look at sports, like track is not. It's first of all, it's a non-revenue sport. You know, when you get to college and stuff like that, like track spends more money than it brings in. 2, I mean, hell, you pay $100 for an NBA ticket, NFL ticket. Like I don't think every Eagles game I've gone to, I've paid well over $200 for a seat.
And that's not even like the greatest seats.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like but I mean, realistically, I paid over, you know, over $200 for a seat. Then, you know, like if I want to sit somewhere decent, like I'm gonna probably pay maybe $400. You know what I'm saying? So that's for me and my boys. So you know what I'm saying? So $400, that's $1,200 to watch the game. You know what I'm saying? So normally Penn Relays is probably $75 for a weekend pass.
And it was $65 for a ticket, I think, for Saturday.
But
and
so
I paid 75. Yeah, I paid 75 this year for Saturday's tickets. Yeah, it ain't that bad though. 75 ain't that bad.
So, yeah, that's not, I mean, I think more so. I don't know where it's lost its way, because I mean, like I was looking at Penn's over the weekend. I remember, and me and John was talking about it. You know, sometimes on Friday
Man.
it was pretty much packed, and then Saturday even the upper level was packed, and it's not like that anymore. And I think that's, you know, even when you start to look at the World Championships and the Diamond League meets, you know, people just aren't putting butts in the seats. So for whatever reason, I don't know whether the
Fine.
sport not being promoted. I don't know whether you know, because they're great performances. So it has to be a reason why
What did
athletes
Penn
are
Relays
putting
lose? I'll
asses
tell
in
you
the
when
seats.
Penn Relays lost his way. 2010 Usain Bolt has been the same since then.
I'm not talking about Pens. I'm talking about in general. Like, nobody goes to World Championships anymore. When you look into the stands, nobody are really, you know, nobody's really at the Diamond League meets anymore. You know what I mean? The pay is a lot different for athletes now than it was then. I mean, as far as getting their money, because I talked to an athlete a couple summers ago, and they were telling me that if they run in May, they may not get their money till September, October. I'm like, where do they do that at?
Right.
Wow.
You know, and again, I'm a little far removed from that side now. But when I'm hearing, hell, I'm not for certain I would run now, because if you're not your Noahs, your Sydneys, your thing, you know, your Christian Colemans, if you're not some of those athletes, you're not really making money now. So I applaud Michael and I applaud Gabby for what they're doing, to try to enhance the sport, to get butts back in the seat. I think it's needed, but I think too the athletes need to kind of stick together. You know what I mean, and have that, you know, have a united front, because it kind of seems like if I'm getting my money, then I don't really care about nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's hard to tell like what direction people are trying to go in when they're doing this. I already feel slighted with the 3 indoor nationals. Like, let's start there. Between Nike, Adidas, and New Balance,
Balance,
like
right?
what? Everybody's an All-American. And but back in the day, everybody either went to Boston or New York, and it was one national for everybody indoor season. And so I think that also waters it down. I do agree with you, Lamont, as far as like paying for seats, and we need to do a better job at, you know, just changing our mindset for that, because when you really look at it, yeah, you might pay for the $250 seats at Penn's, but you're getting a great view. If you're somebody who's recruiting for, you know, athletes to come to your school, then you actually are, you know, 250 is nothing compared to what they're going to do for your program, right?
Right.
And then also like it reminds me of kind of like women's basketball. Before, like, you know, wasn't many people in seats already, but now with the social media and, you know, we have the Bayou Barbie and the, you know, the Kate Clark, you know, in South Carolina with Dawn Stanley, Philly girl, you know. I think that more people are watching it, and then it is putting more people in the seats. But remember, they only have one championship, whereas track now, it's just so many different things that people can attend. It's hard to decide where you want to be. Like, even for Penn's, I feel like the Bermuda meet kind of interfered with Penn's, because that was on that Saturday where most of the USA versus the world would be. And so with them having a Bermuda meet, you know, directly conflicting with Penn's, then most people, well, not most, but some of the professionals who we would normally see, which is worth the $250 seats, are just not there.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I agree with that. You know, I definitely agree with that. I mean, Johnny, you've been to Texas Relays, and although it's a smaller venue, it's packed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it is.
And
it's
my Texas Relays is affordable
you
compared
know,
to Penn Relays. It's affordable.
Yeah.
Parking's $15 Texas Relays. Tickets like $25. With Penn Relays, parking's $35 and $65, $75 for
25.
a seat. Fooey.
Yeah, but I mean, for somebody like us to go down to Texas, it would cost us a lot more.
can imagine. Yeah, you're
So,
flying a lot of kids down.
Yeah,
and now with the bus
situation.
situation, even going to South Carolina, our bus was like $8,000 or something. It was crazy. It's ridiculous. It's-
Mm-mm.
and then I'm a public school, so kids have to pay, and we have to fundraise to do all these different things. However, I will say this: you can do anything that you want to do if you plan in advance. So I took my cross country team for the first time to an international trip. We went to Bermuda to do the Bermuda Challenge, and it was a very small meet, intimate, but it was an experience for them. They've worked very hard. I told everybody, if you committed in July, you're going to go to this Bermuda trip in December. So we fundraised, and then we had a great time. But that took a lot of planning in advance in order to go there.
Wow, that's an experience for those kids too. That's real good, definitely.
And that's
But
different.
hey,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and that's a little different from when I was at ER, Eleanor Roosevelt, when you're sponsored. So your flights might be comped to come out to like California or to go to Puerto Rico or to go to Jamaica, you know? So that also makes a difference.
Yes, definitely. Well, we get ready to wrap this show up, y'all, man. This is man, what can I say, man? The jewels that were dropped tonight was amazing. We'll kick the shout outs, of course. We start with ladies first, as always. Coach Tia, kick your shout outs. First off, thank you for coming on with us. Definitely got to come back on again. Definitely got to. As a matter of fact, all y'all got to come back on again for the Olympic trials, so we can have like a round table discussion, y'all. We got to bring all y'all back, man. Definitely. Coach Tia, go ahead, kick your shout outs.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, JP, for having me. It was a pleasure kind of getting to
Anytime.
fellowship with you during Penn's. And I have to give a shout out to the DMV, because the reason why we are performing as well is because the DMV has just definitely kind of like, you know,
take it off.
Went to another level. So if you guys were watching high school, you know that St. John's was in that 4x8. Carroll High School has been on the map. McNamara and DeMatha were both in the Championship of America. So I have to give a shout out to all those coaches who have been doing like pretty amazing things. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this fun fact. Well, first of all, I'm gonna shout out my club coaches and my high school coaches, because I feel like I'm the coach that I am today because of them. Because they were so great to me. I wanted to kind of like, you know, pay my respects to my student athletes. But fun fact from DMV. Jolie from Bullis High School, Ra from Archbishop Carroll High School, Desmond Dunham from St. John's High School, which are all really top high schools in the area, and myself. We are Howard alum who were all recruited by the same guy, late Coach William P. Moultrie. So I had to say,
wow,
that's dope.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll let John J go, man.
Okay, JJ.
My shout outs. Wow. Shout out to Willenboro. Shout out to Penny Packer. Shout out to the sun for coming out because it's warm now. So I'm very happy. Shout out to the weekend. It's going to be a long weekend for me. So shout out to the weekend. L. Smith, you're on, so I don't have to shout you out. Normally I would, but since you're on, deuces to you.
Appreciate you, my boy.
JP Will, thanks for having me on again. You know, I was very civilized tonight. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime.
Coach TC,
First and foremost, thanks, Will. Thanks, JP, for having me on. John, I think this is the first time I did a podcast with you, so it was actually pretty fun. You're a funny guy. Coach T, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Bro. I was civilized.
It was definitely a pleasure meeting you. Definitely a pleasure talking track with you. Much success.
Everybody hold on. Everybody hold on for a minute too. Everybody hold on for a minute. Oh, I was gonna say hold on for a minute, like, you know, just stick around for a minute when we're done recording. Definitely for a minute, y'all. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Come on, bro. You know I'm old, man. I lose my train of thought when I'm through. I mean, shoot. Yes. So much continued success to you and your program. As you guys get ready to go into the championship season. Shout out to Coach Ruck, because if it had not been for that, and I definitely wouldn't be an Olympic champion. I definitely wouldn't be a national champion or a high school champion. So most of my success goes to him. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Coach Tellez, who I think is arguably the greatest coach to do this thing. And last but not least, shout out to Team 4430, my track club. Good luck to you guys at States. I can't wait to see you in May. And as always, go Burrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Burrow, man. Burrow Pride. So that's all I have.
And oh, by the way, Mr. Smith, when can I get the new 4430 T-shirt?
What?
You know, another T-shirt. You know I'm a supporter.
I mean, I need to
You know that, good brother.
Huh?
You know I'm a supporter.
Yeah.
Since John's been posting so much, bro, he's gonna handle that because they be beating the head about that, man. So I got you.
Man.
I got you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, go ahead, Will.
I don't even know what this
go ahead.
do yet.
Okay. Sounds good. Definitely.
So we'll do
Will. Yes, sir.
Shout out to my co-host, of course, JP. I didn't really know full on what to expect. You know, track is not really my element, but it's been a really amazing show tonight. Shout out to the guests, Coach TC, Mont. You know, it's not every day we have a gold medalist with us. You know what I'm saying? Olympic gold medalist. Let me clarify. You know, and then JJ, thank you for behaving 2 appearances in a row, brother. I know it's hard, but we appreciate you.
Bro, it's very hard. It's very hard, bro.
That is funny.
But thank y'all for real.
I appreciate you guys. You know, I have to also give a shout out to Mr. Frisbee and John Drummond because if it wasn't for together, the gathering, I wouldn't have met you all. So thank you. And I actually met you at Penn's with your son because he was just finished running, and you know, so that's why I had a hat on.
Yes.
I probably was looking like this, like, you know,
you were with John.
I was with John. Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah.
I remember now. Yes.
Yeah. It's really nice to rub elbows with some greats. So, you know, I'm learning from you guys as I go.
John's a character. You know, he lives not too far from me. And then
really?
And I train his son Destin. So
I love it.
So I see John quite a bit, and he works with, you know, when I can't get through to Jason, since he's up at TCU, I just say, you know, handle that for me. So how was the event? I meant to ask because I didn't get a chance to go. How was it?
It was good. I guess I was saying earlier, it was nice fellowship, conversation, great food. So food was
JP talked about the whole weekend was going to that deal. So I didn't know how I didn't.
Yeah, I wanted to know if you were going. Yeah. Because I was hanging out with Mon on Thursday, and that's why I asked Mon, I said, Mon, you going to the thing? He said, I don't think so. But yeah, Mon, you got to come next year, good brother, definitely.
Yeah.
JJ, you too. Will, you coming to the Penn Relays next year, Will?
Yeah, you got to experience it. Or Texas Relays.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to do both next year.
Well,
I'm trying to do both.
I need to look into Texas Relays now.
You do. I'm telling you, you'll really enjoy it because it gives a different feel. It's a smaller scale of pins, but the weather is nice. So you know, so they do some running. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They run down there. So
it's early in our season. I think it's March, right?
Yeah, it's like the last week.
Okay.
It's usually the last weekend of March.
I'm there definitely. Hey, Mont, real quick, I had to ask you. I heard Johnathan Sims got hurt the other day. What's going on with that, brother?
I have no idea, man. Like I've been kind of traveling a little bit, so I haven't. I'm kind of. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll make some calls to see though, but I don't, because I didn't hear about Johnathan Sims, but I know another kid from Fort Worth. He got hurt, and I think he's run like 47 a little earlier in the season, or maybe 46. So I'm interested to see how the state meet will go. It'll be some 45s. It'll be some 45s this weekend, I'm sure.
Always. Always,
Well,
always,
not always,
man.
man. It ain't.
There's a big meet coming up here that most of the Jamaicans will stay and go to the Puma meet, which is at PG Sports and Learning Complex. So it's
Yeah.
I
supposed
mean,
to be
I'm trying to.
Cause my nephew, Malachi James is running in there.
Yeah.
He's running down there this weekend.
Wait a minute, is he the 45 guy from Philly?
No. He's a sprinter. He goes to Burlington City, but he's a Borough product. He's a Willingboro product, but he's gonna be down there. I think he's gonna be running there if I'm not mistaken.
He's run 10:40 and 21:15 so far.
Nice. Yeah, there's supposed to be like a good competition between Quincy and this as a kid from Philly.
Jaden Horton Mims.
Yes, who runs a 45, and he's like a young guy. He's like a sophomore too.
Oh wow, that'd be good. That'll be good. I definitely.
He runs a 45-1. So yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to get the score on that and watch that for sure. But yeah, so the state meet should be good, and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see. Hopefully Texas will represent.
Oh, they always, man, your state always represents.
I know.
Hey, now my state. I'm a New Jersey kid. I just live here.
That's why I forgot. I'm sorry.
I still claim Philly.
Oh, I'm a Jersey kid. I just live here.
Real
Man.
quick, before I forget. Shout outs to the Union Catholic girls. Are you
gonna bring that? Are you really gonna bring that up? Because I was gonna bring it up.
Sorry, you know what? I forgot all about it. I'm sorry. They broke your 16-year-old national record.
Yes, they did.
But y'all had it for 50 years. Hey, you could always say high school. We had the high school record.
Yes, by themselves. They rode, and actually they placed third, I think, in the 4x4 Championship of America as well. So
yes,
yeah, I have to give credit where credit is due, and they definitely showed out. They've been working about 3 years to break that record, so kudos to their coach.
Yeah. I mean, 16 years is a long time. That's a long record to be having. Yeah. I'm sure you should be proud if you had that record for 16 years.
Yeah,
not too many people get that. Yes. Definitely. But like again, thanks to these wonderful guests we've had on here tonight. And hey, as I always tell everybody out there who tuned in, follow us and stuff, wish you all a great weekend. And we say peace till we see you next time.
Y'all be good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right, bye.